What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. Today we're going to be talking about whether you should be doing high or low profit margins when you're dropshipping on Amazon. But if you're new to the channel and you do Amazon or eBay dropshipping, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any information. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into it. The first part I want to talk about is doing low margin. So typically when you have a lower margin, you're going to be doing a higher volume of sales. Now I know that's really going to depend on the prices of your items, whether you're doing cheap $10 items or if you're doing $100 items, but typically overall, if you have a lower margin, you're going to be doing more sales volume. Having more volume could be a positive or negative. It really just depends on how on top of your business you are. If you have a lot of volume and you're able to upload the trackings on time and be able to take care of customer service, then you could use it to improve your metrics. Now, on the flip side, if you're not able to handle all that customer service and you're not able to get tracking numbers uploaded on time, it could go against you and it could hurt your metrics. So it really just depends on if you have the time to focus on the business and if you're able to stay on top of everything. But I think overall, if you're able to handle that volume, then I think at the end of the day, you should be able to pull more profit than selling things at a higher profit margin. But like I said, some of the cons of having a lower profit margin and having more volume of sales is that you're going to get a lot more customer service issues and you have a lot more tracking numbers to worry about. So you got to be really careful that you're able to keep up with the volume. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you're going to be doing high volume with low profit margins, you're really going to need a lot of credit to back it up. So if you're someone who only has $5,000 or $10,000 available of capital on your credit card or in cash, I would not suggest doing high volume and low profit margin. And the last thing I think you really need to consider when doing low profit margins is the fact that they're going to have a short shelf life. So if you find an item and let's say you list it at a 10% profit margin, but your minimum that you're willing to accept is about a 5% profit margin, I mean, you're not going to have that much time to have that listing because people are going to be undercutting you. Whereas if you find a product and it has a 50% profit margin, people will undercut you, but it's going to take longer for that listing to go stale. But like I said in the beginning, you really got to consider the price of the item. If you have a $10 item, accepting a 10% margin on that is not that much. Whereas if you have a $200 item, I'd be more willing to accept a lower profit margin. Okay, now let's talk about higher profit margins. The first thing that comes to mind as a pro of a higher profit margin is the shelf life. Like I mentioned before, if you find an item that is selling for 2x and you can sell it maybe just a little bit under there, it's going to have a long shelf life as long as no one undercuts you by a lot. But I mean, for the most part on Amazon, people are just undercutting by a penny or two. The price ends up dwindling down to basically like the bare minimum. It is a race to the bottom, but it is nice when you find an item that hasn't gotten to that minimum and sells at a higher price point. And the biggest thing I think with a higher profit margin is the fact that you don't need as much capital. If you have a store of 1,000 items and they're all at 50% profit margin, the chances of you needing a lot of capital is probably going to be pretty low. So this is great for people who are just starting out who might not have a lot of capital. They can find these higher margin items and still make good money with not having too many sales. And with higher profit margins, you're going to have a lot less customer service issues and a lot less tracking to deal with. So you're going to have less orders and you're going to make, more money per item, but you're not going to have as many orders, you're not going to have as much volume, so you're not really going to have as many issues to deal with. So that translates to not needing as many employees to run your store. But one of the cons I could think of when it comes to higher margin items is the fact that if the customer does see the receipt, they're going to see that you marked it up by a ton, and that's a higher chance of your metrics going bad or the customer complaining to Amazon. So that's just one thing that you might want to consider when doing those high profit margin items. But that's pretty much it, guys. Short topic today. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them down in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and click the like button. It helps out a lot more than you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.